Hare Krishna. So, Hare Krishna, everyone. So, thank you for the Jabaliks. We go on for Srimad Bhagavatam session, the short kirtan. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodhanandana Prajajanarandana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamukirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 17 and text 38. So text goes like this. Suta uvacha atyartitas tatha tasmai stanani kalaye thatau yutham panam striyasuna yatra dharmas chaturvithaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Suta Goswami said, Maharaj Parikshit, thus being petitioned by the personality of Kali, gave him permission to reside in places where gambling, drinking, prostitution, and animal slaughter were performed. The purport is quite big, so maybe we will explain it during the session. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Tabitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupak Kadha Mahyam Tadhati Shvapadhantikam Namavom Vishnupadhaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavati Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So please confirm, am I audible, clear, sound?
Yes, Prabhu, you are audible.
Yeah. Thank you. So text 38 of the 17th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto. It's one of the important sloka about the four regs, four regulatory principles. And this sloka is very close to me also in one when we are attending Bhakti Vaibhav session. The Maharaj is a faculty. So in this text, I found so many discussions with Maharaj, and I got a nice realization. So maybe I'll try to share how much it is possible. So we'll go by this purport. The translation actually what it says is Suta Goswami is again confirming that Parikshit Maharaj gave the permission to Kali, the Kali Purusha, about a stay in this material world where there is a gambling, where there is a drinking, where there is a prostitution, where animal slaughter is happening. There you can go and reside. So the whole series we are seeing, there it is clearly says that the king, the Kshatriya, is a main person to give shelter of their praja, even though there is a good obedient prajas in the same country, or the bad people also there in the same country. For all are accommodated under the what I say, pious or dharmic Kshatriyas ruling. So Parikshit Maharaj, such a Kshatriya, he is accommodating even Kali is fake surrender. So that was we are seeing in the series. So here Kali is he is thinking he is very clever, so that he is asking this four places. And Parikshit Maharaj is also allowing him to stay the four places with very confident that there is no such places in Parikshit Maharaj's time, because he is a dharmic ruler. He doesn't encourage these things, so that there is no provision for these four things in his country, in his land, so that he is not having these places. Maybe if it is as also, it's 0.0001 percentage in somewhere in near forest or something. Let him go there and leave. But Kali, from there only it started his Leela. So now we are sitting in the Kali Yuga and waiting for a Gora Kali Yuga also. It's getting worse than worse. Now only we are seeing those things. So purport saying that Prabhupada is explaining very wonderfully each and every point to be could be the discussion for 1 hour. Such a crispy points to elaborate as to understand to our level. So we'll go one by one. The basic principles of irreligiosity, such as pride, prostitution, intoxication, and falsehood, counteract the four principles of religion, namely austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. The personality of Kali was given a permission to live in four places, particularly mentioned by the king, namely the place of gambling, the place of prostitution, and the place of drinking, and the place of animal slaughter. So, Prabhupada's first point only, it is clearly says that this religiosity activities which counteracts the principles. So this is like a statement for people who are under, not statement, I can say principle of the person who is claiming to be a human. So Prabhupada, many lectures he quoted that when you follow this four regulatory principle only, you are coming to the platform of human. If you are not following this, you are like Pasabir Samanam only, as per Shastra's injunction. You are as good as animal. If you are not following this basic rules and regulations of Vedic injunctions, you are as good as animal. You should not claim yourself as a human. Then what to speak of a devotee qualities? So it's a very long way to go actually for this thing. So it is not, we should not have a very great pride that I am following for regulative principle to the extent. Because for regulative principle makes you to keep you in the aloof from animal platform and keep you in the human platform. That's it. From there, you can progress your uh, devotional activities by doing sadhana, and you become a slowly, gradually devotee by performing sadhana under the bona fide guru or bona fide devotee shelter. So, Prabhupada quotes Jiva Goswami things. So, Srila Jiva Goswami directs that drinking against the principle of scriptures such as Sautramani Yajna, association with women outside marriage, and killing animals against the Vedic injection of the scripture are irreligious. So here Jiva Goswami quoting that when you are drinking, so it's not like you can drink anytime. So you have money. If you are feeling that I'm working, I'm a day worker, so I have to work hard for the labor, and the evening for pain I'll go and drink, and I'll go into volunteer ignorant mode, and I'll fight with my family, wife, children, and I sleep in the roadside, and one day I'll die like a dog. It's not like that. So Jiva Goswami is clearly saying that drinking, if it is against to the principle of scripture, such as Sautramani Yajna, there is a yajna, those days they follow. There they offer the alcohol to the yajna. This is all again, it's a kind of a way different setup, principle for a different level of people. So those yajna, they sacrifice this and they can take as a remanence. So that way it is allowed. And association with women outside marriage and killing against the animals against the injunction of the scriptures or religious. In the Vedas, two different types of injunction are there. For the Privartas are those who are engaged in the material enjoyment, and for the Nivritas are those who are liberated from the material bondage. The Vedic injunction for the Pravartas is to gradually regulate their activities towards the path of liberation. Therefore, for those who are in the lowest stage of ignorance and who indulge in wine, woman, flesh drinking by performing Shautramani Yajna, association of women by marriage, and flesh eating by sacrifice, are sometimes recommended. So Prabhupada is making very strong and clear clarifying a very clear point with great clarity that as per Vedic injunction, there are two types of marga, which is Pravritti marga and Nivritti marga. Many of the people we already know this. So Pravarta marga is like the path of material enjoyment. You can do some karma kanda activities and get the benefit from that, and you can enjoy the things in the material level. But Nivritta marga is such that the activities takes you in the path of liberation. So it's ultimately, if you see this, all these things, it's your choices at the end of the day. Whether I want to get liberated or I want to stuck in this material world by doing so many activities to keep me enjoying, keep me engaging in material enjoyment. It's up to you. There are things to supposed to do it, supposed to follow, and there are things to likes to do. Just understand this difference. There are things we are supposed to follow, and there are things which I want to like to do. I like to do this. So how this is happening, you see, there are things you're supposed to do, supposed to follow. It is from the Vedic injunction. As a human, as a conditioned Jivatma, you have to go and think for the liberation from the bondage of material clutches. But I don't want to focus on that, but I want to do which the things I like to do. This is a marga where there is no, you are not allowing to have any provision of getting guidance or getting instruction from Shastras and or doing Swadhyaya or studying the scriptures. This is not happening because I want things which I like to do. It is not that the things which I am supposed to follow. The Vedic injunctions are very clear that there are options, there are choices. It is up to you what you have to do. But under the guidance, under the bona fide spiritual master, we come to know this is and this is correct because Shastra says this to come out of this material clutches. This is temporary. So for that angle, if you are thinking with the proper guidance and instruction from the Shastra, then you are saved and you may achieve the perfect purpose of life. But whereas I am going behind what I want to do and I want like to do, there you don't need to have a guidance, you don't need to have any strong instruction to follow. So that what happen, whatever you like that you do, ultimately it end up with where material enjoyment, which is temporary, and you will not achieve your purpose of life and you will die like a dog one day. This is how the cycle goes. That is what Shankaracharya told this. If you are stuck in this material world and the Kala Chakra make you to do this, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. So when you want to come out of this, you have to take that Nivritti Marga where there is a chance of doing such activities to make you towards the path of liberation should happen. Correct? So this is what the thing which we have to discuss more in this scenario. So what Prabhupada says further, the Vedic injection, therefore, for those who are in the lowest stage of ignorance, who indulge in wine, woman, flesh, drinking by Shaudramani Yajna, association with women by marriage plus eating by sacrifice are sometimes recommended because for them it is recommended. But people who are in the Nivritti Marga, it is not recommended. For Prabhupada further is saying very strongly that such recommendation in the Vedic literature are meant for the particular class of men, not for all. This is the instruction from Prabhupada. So he clearly says that this kind of Vedic literature is meant for particular class of men, not for everyone. So you should not think that okay, a Shastra says this, it is I can take it as granted. I can also apply it and I will take advantage of it. It's not like that. It is not like that. When you are maybe there is a slogan says that till fourth we use pencil. After fourth we started giving in the school they allow us to write in pen or ink. So nowadays so many things are came. Those days they say if you write in pencil you can have a eraser to erase. since you are not perfect in writing and doing things, so that you can erase it and you can change it. But whereas you started writing in pen, you will not have an option of correcting again. If you correct also, it comes to know that something you corrected there. So what we can understand is, there are levels there you need such a correction. There it is allowed. What Prabhupada mentioned. Such recommendation in the Vedic literature are meant for the particular class of men. But whereas if you are that you are crossed that age and you are being the Nivritti Marga path of liberation, there you want to such enjoyment, then it is for not for you. That's what Prabhupada says is, it is not for all. But because they are injunctions of Vedas of particular type of persons, such activities by the Pravartas are not considered adharma. For them, it is not adharma. When people are there doing this Shautramani Yajna, they are drinking alcohol. It is, for them, it is not adharma, not considered as adharma in one sense, but Prabhupada strongly says that it is adharma only. How? The next line says, one adharma, one man's food may be poison for others. Similarly, what is recommended for those who are in the mode of ignorance may be poison for those in the mode of goodness. So this is a nice analogy Prabhupada is giving here, that once man's food become poison to others, there are so many things we can say. You see, maybe it's maybe little hard to digest. See, this pig, hogs eats human stool. It is very tasty food for hogs. But whereas it is not applicable for the person who is nicely cooking and offering to Lord and eating. There is no comparison of this and this. But if you give this wonderful prasadam, it treats differently. But when it found some stool in the garbage, in the ditch, it happily goes and eats. That's what happened with Indra. In Bhagavatam, the story comes. So, such man's food may be poison for others. So this Pravritta Marga people, whatever they're doing, they're in the mode of ignorance, in the common umbrella. Whereas when you are trying to become a Satvik, when you are trying to be in the mode of goodness, for them it is a poison. So Prabhupada clearly says here. So Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhu therefore affirms that the recommendations in the scripture for the certain class of men are never to be considered adharma or religious. But such activities factually adharma. So clearly says, there is no confusion here. Such activities are adharma only, but for them it is considered as adharma. So it's very clear cut point. So they are never to be encouraged actually. The recommendation in the scripture are not meant for the encouragement of such adharma, but regulating the necessary adharma gradually towards path of dharma. So why these are given to this in the Vedic scriptures? To follow goodness, people who are in the god of goodness? No. This is allowed for the people who are the Pravarta Marga, people who are in the mode of ignorance in the widely. They practice and they regulating in this process in their activities, so that slowly, gradually they will turn towards the path of dharma. For that sense only it was given. For example, you see in the Kolkata, very famous Kali Puja will going to happen. So this Kolkata Kali, it's very famous on the day they sacrifice goat and the chicken, everything they cut, whole blood oozing out from the near Ganga. You can see that how many people went Kali Ghat in Kolkata, I don't know. So there you can see literally it is happening. But whereas whether this Kali Mata is accepting this sacrifice, that is a big question. But Kali Mata is controlling so many prachetas, means so many ghosts and so many evils things. For them, it is feast. But Kali Mata is not taking the sacrifice which you are giving. But people who are there in the Kolkata, they say wonderfully that this is prasad of Kali, Mahakali. How come it has become prasad of Mahakali when Mahakali is not accepting that? So this is how we are just trapped in that. And if you take example of our South India, go to Aghobilam. Ahobilam, they do this animal sacrifice in front of Narsimhadev temple. And they worship Narsimhadev as Singaraja. And Singaraja is eating this non-veg subs only. So they're just thinking that, and I saw one thing when went to Ahobilam. Some Muslim couple, they come, they cut goat and the chicken in front of the temple. They're cooking there only. They're eating. Muslim people are doing. So I'm feeling it's so demoniac that people are in the different this thing. They're taking advantage of this place and eating. But then only I come to know that this is recommended for them. It is not recommended for you, but for them. They will do these activities gradually. They will come towards the Pravrti Marga to Nivrti Marga, but it takes time. We don't know when they will turn towards this. That is up to each and individual problems. But whereas you are trying to be in the path of Nivrti, you should see this as adharma only. Then only you have a clarity to follow what is dharma. So the purport goes that following the footsteps of Maharaj Parikshit, it is a duty of all executive heads of the states to see that the principle of religion, namely austerity, cleanliness, mercy, truthfulness, are established in the state, and that the principle of religion, namely pride, illicit female association or prostitution, intoxication and falsity, are checked by all means. And to make the best use of the bad bargain, the personality of Kali may be transferred to the place of gambling, drinking, prostitution, and the slaughterhouses. If there are any place like that, those who are addicted to do these things, to do these irreligious habits, may be regulated by the injunction of the scripture. In no circumstances should they become encouraged by any state. In other words, the state should categorically stop all sorts of gambling, drinking, prostitution, and falsity. The state which wants to eradicate corruption by majority may introduce the principle of religion in the following manner. So Prabhupada is giving the instruction to politicians. So very nicely he quoted some 4 points, 3 points he mentioned. It may be, maybe we take it as considered in the future generation, we should follow this. The first point is 2 compulsory fasting days. 2 compulsory fasting days in a month, if not more, back at austerity, even from the economic point of view, such 2 fasting days in a month is in the state will save tons of food, and system will also act very favorably on the general health of the citizens. So Prabhupada, what is mentioning here, it is about Ekadashis. So he is talking about Ekadashis. You should keep this Ekadashi fasting so that you can save tons of food and the general health of the citizens. So it is not economic. Is it not economic, financial things Prabhupada is talking? So Ekadashi is such a thing, we can save so many tons of grains, so many tons of people's time. We can engage those time in something fruitful. So the second point is there must be compulsory marriage of young boys and girls attaining 24 years of age and 16 years of age respectively. There is no harm in co-education in the schools and colleges provided the boys or boys and girls are duly married. And in case there is any intimate connection between male and female student, they should be married properly without illicit relation. The Divorce Act is encouraging prostitution and this should be abolished. So Prabhupada is saying this, it's a age limit is giving, and with that these people should marry. After marriage they go for college and degree and work. That is up to them. But these people should get married. That's what it's clearly mentioned. Marriage of young boys and girls. It's not like that I will settle my things, everything, and then I'll get married. But people are running behind now in this settlement only. But it never happens in one sense. So Prabhupada is saying this avoids illicit relationship. If it is happening also, you have to marry in a proper way so that the illicit relation can be avoided. But Divorce Act encouraging prostitution is a very nice instruction. I felt because Divorce Act is encouraging the prostitution. So when people are not satisfying each other, they go behind this. I don't want to continue with this fellow. So better I will come out of this guy and this woman. I will take my own choice of woman and in workplace, and I will find this guy is very good, and I found this lady is very good. I can be with them. That's what so many ships are coming. Relationship, living relation, situationship, one night stand. So many things are there. So many Gen Z words are roaming in and around. But it's all Prabhupada predicted 50 years before only. So the third point, it's 642. The citizens of the state must give charity up to 50% of their income for the purpose of creating the spiritual atmosphere in the state and in human society. So it's clearly mentioned that Srimad Bhagavatam is Karma Yoga. The practice of Karma Yoga should be there in every aspect. Unless otherwise the Karma Yoga aspect is not there in the government setup or in the state or in the country, the state goes in a wrong way. So he gave some 5 points. It's Karma Yoga or doing everything for the satisfaction of the Lord. Be regular hearing of the Srimad Bhagavatam from authorized person and realized souls. Chanting the glories of the Lord congregationally at home or at a place of worship. Rendering all kinds of service to Bhagavatas engaged in preaching Srimad Bhagavatam. Residing in the place where atmosphere is saturated with God consciousness. If the state is regulated by the above process, naturally there will be a God consciousness everywhere. So till that, it's completely instruction for people who are in the management or people who are in the government. So this goes like this. So the last paragraph is telling that the point that the flesh eaters may be allowed to take flesh as mentioned in the scriptures, but not otherwise. Intoxication in all description, even smoking cigarette, chewing tobacco, or drinking tea must be prohibited. Gambling in all description, even speculative business enterprises are considered to be degrading. So it's a big topic. So I can stop here because it's a 44. So we will continue in the next Bhagavatam speakers. They will maybe elaborately they explain in this. So thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Ki
Jai.